On today's show, we have our first repeat visitor. She's an actress, a wrestler, a model, an activist, and she went through a vampire phase. Another wrestling podcast is proud to welcome back Shelly Martinez. Shelly, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic. So, the first time you were on our show was just for a couple of brief minutes. It was at last year's New England Fan Fest, and we hear that you will be returning this year as well. Are you pretty excited about that?
You know, I am. There's going to be a lot of different people there that I'm excited to see and to hang out with and kind of just reconnect with. So it's going to be one of those things where, you know what? You never know what could happen at New England Fan Fest.
All right. Now, you're definitely going to be your super ticket guest, and you'll be signing autographs, taking photos. And once again, someone told me that you'll be doing deluxe bikini photos, which I'm not even for sure what that means, but it sounds super exciting.
Well, I haven't done it in quite some time, and I thought, you know, when I was asked, all right, sure, I'm down. So, yeah, I will be, in fact, doing bikini ops, which entails fans being able to pay a specific price to come on down and take a photo with me in my bikini, hence the word bikini op.
That is amazing. You'll also be doing a 1-hour Q&A session hosted by Howard Finkel and a VIP dinner the night before the Fan Fest. What are you most looking forward to?
You know, I'm just looking forward to all of it because I feel like every experience I have will be a different one, most definitely. So, you know, when you go out to dinner, that's going to be different when you have a Q&A hosted by Howard Finkel. And when you're having a Q&A hosted by Howard Finkel, that's definitely different than having a bikini op. So I just love that this time around I have, it's more eventful for me. Last year, I was only there really, you know, for the show, and I had a show before the show and a show after the show, so it was very rush, I felt. Whereas this time I'll be able to just kind of have the whole New England Fan Fest experience.
All right, that's great. So I have to say, I've seen that you've been tearing it up on the independent wrestling scene as of late. What have some of your favorite promotions been to work for? We're on the East Coast here, and I know that you spend a lot of time on the West Coast. So what are some of the cool promotions that you've been working with out there?
Well, one of the promotions I definitely love working with is FSW, which is out of Las Vegas. I am a part of a group, and in that group we have Jacob Austin, and we have Bryce, and we have Duke, and we have Cody, and we have me. And all of us form together this group called The Following. And I'm really passionate about being a part of The Following, and it's just been really fun for me. You know, the Indies, this is round 2 for me. I did the Indies prior to getting hired to WWE, and this time around, now it's kind of like I have more fun with it, you know. I know the name of the game. I know what's up. I've already kind of been there, done that, whereas some people are still trying to accomplish their goals. So I feel that's where I kind of differ this time around in my wrestling career is I already met my goals. So now it's more about just embracing that I'm this weird wrestler girl. And FSW has definitely pulled that side of me out for sure. And I definitely give him a huge, huge, huge credit for that. And of course, there's my wrestling soulmate, which I consider my wrestling soulmate, Hood Slam. Hood Slam's out of Oakland, California. And a couple years ago when I first got involved with Hood Slam, that's really when I just really embraced why I love wrestling, why I'm part of wrestling, why wrestling is part of me. That's the short version.
Yeah.
So, you know, Hood Slam, I'm all about the Hood Slam. And of course, I train at Santino Brothers here out of Bell Gardens, California. And I just this past weekend did my big return over there because I had spent quite a bit of time in 2014 on the East Coast. I've been kind of ignoring my West Coast. So it feels like the tail end of 2014 has been giving back to the West Coast, excuse me, how now brown cow, right?
Yeah.
The West Coast. bringing the love back to Santino Brothers, which, they allow me to have a place to go train, which is very important, and FSW and Hood Slam.
Now, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure that there's a gentleman that wrestles for Hood Slam that was on last season's Tough Enough, AJ, right?
Yes, that is correct, AJ.
Yeah, I saw him post some things about Hood Slam, and I wasn't really aware of it. And then I started to dig a little bit deeper, and it seems like it's a really fun thing out there. So, speaking of promotions, there's been a lot of new promotions and new wrestling shows pop up as late. Is there any chance that there's one specific show out there, whether it be, Impact or Lucha Underground or Ring of Honor? Is there one of those that you would really like to get back to?
Well, it's interesting. I can't talk.
It's
It's been
probably
one of them days, you know what I mean? Like one of them days, it's the end of the night. I'm just like, and I still have to work out, so I'm like, oh, I'm really pushing through. But anyway, um, it's funny you mentioned that because at first I was kind of drawn to. I really wanted to get involved, sink my teeth into ROH a little bit. But to be honest with you, I've been hit with the Lucha Underground bug, and I get asked a lot, would you go back to WWE? Would you go back to TNA, or excuse me, Impact Wrestling? And my answer is always, well, duh, it's a paycheck. Of course I would. I could love it. But if I my choice, I'd rather just go with Lucha Underground. It's totally my vibe. Their product and the way they present their product is something that I really feel inspired by. And to be honest with you, recently I just saw, I believe it was last week, if I'm not, if I stand corrected, their episode that they had out, and I was just so drawn into it. Honestly, I told my sister today, we were on this long walk, I was like, I haven't wanted something so bad since WWE. So I would like to say here on record on your show that, I really would love to go there. I really would. I would like to end my wrestling career at Lucha Underground,
Well,
to be honest.
that's awesome, and we appreciate you saying that on our show. We just spoke with John Morrison not too long ago, and he wrestles obviously as Johnny Mundo on there. So he's got great things to say about it. I know that they're doing some really amazing things just to make it seem more gritty and real, and it's a great product. So I would love to see you on there. And so anybody who's listening, please, let's start a petition. Let's do something. I want to see Shelly Martinez on Lucha Underground.
Well, here's the thing. I'm all about the vibes. So if everyone listening just kind of thinks Shelly, Lucha Underground, Shelly, Lucha Underground, it'll happen.
I can't think of any better way to really get 2015 going. So I'm sending out the vibes.
Cool.
Now it seems that women's wrestling, at least on the independent level right now, is gaining some momentum. Why do you think the fans are finally getting into it again?
Well, I honestly think that the fans just weren't aware. They weren't aware that there was girls out there, quality girls, not only quality girls in the ring, but, in the looks department too. I mean, I get it. Everyone's pretty much familiar with WWE and their product and the way they like to, have their girls look and represent, even though they do have different girls. I'm not saying that they don't, but I kind of feel when I hear people talk, the general kind of vibe, I guess, is that they're so cookie cutter, which I kind of disagree with because I feel like now they do have like some diverse girls there. However, I understand where people are coming from, and I think that just people being more aware that there are different types of girls out there that in their own ways have their own strengths in wrestling, and they bring it together, especially when you match them up with somebody else and it's like this really cool, awesome match happens. And, it's really inspiring and powerful to experience and see. And just like you said, it seems like all of a sudden, as of the last, I'd say, couple years, especially this last year, I feel that women's wrestling and even on the independent side has been a little bit more aware and been more in the public eye. And I think it's cool because there's a lot of awesome chicks out there that really know how to tear it up. And not everyone gets to make it to the WWE. And it doesn't mean that they're less of a talent than whoever gets to. It just means that just wasn't a fit. And that's fine. That's what life's about, variety. And I feel that the average wrestling fan didn't really know too much variety because they just kind of have WWE and back in the day, and they have TNA or Impact and, WCW, ECW, but those things are all gone. It's only just Impact and WWE. And a lot of WWE fans don't even care to watch Impact in the last year or two, though. I feel those same WWE fans that had no idea about what Impact Wrestling or TNA Wrestling was now do. And I don't know what the magic formula is. I don't know if someone mentioned to me, one of my Hollywood friends, that it seems like there's kind of a wrestling boom, if you will. It kind of was looked at as a novelty thing, not taken too serious. But now there's all this awareness. You even got that reality show that came out where that, what is it, a family that are morticians or have a funeral home, but they're wrestlers. That's huge that wrestling's kind of made it outside now of WWE because it seems like all the products that were known on the mainstream level were all WWE products, whether it be WWE Divas or their films or their television shows. So the fact that now there's another reality show out there that's kind of catering to that crowd, but in a different twist, in a different way, I think shows how society has grown with the idea of accepting professional wrestling on a different level, not so much of a sideshow.
Yeah. Now, I've got a pun coming your way, so just beware of this. But you spent a lot of time in the revamped version of WWE's ECW. At that time, you got to spend a lot of time working under Paul Heyman. A lot of people have very strong opinions on Paul Heyman. So, what are your thoughts on Paul Heyman?
I too have very strong opinion and thoughts on Paul Heyman. And to be honest with you, Paul is Paul. And once you understand that and what makes him tick, even if you're just getting the tip of the iceberg of what makes him tick, if you accept that and understand that and truly get his vibe, you love Paul Heyman. You get it. You get it. And there's a lot of people in this world, I don't mean to sound like whatever, but there's just either you get it or you don't in life. And it's just people's paths. Just going back to this thing about WWE, not everyone's meant to be in WWE, but it doesn't mean that they're less of a wrestler. Such is life. So just because some people hate Paul Heyman, that just means they don't get Paul Heyman. And I get Paul Heyman. I embrace Paul Heyman. I love Paul Heyman. And going back to my long walk earlier, I was talking to my sister actually about Paul Heyman and how he always believed in me. He always believed in me. He was open about believing in me. And he was also open about when there was a time in my career where I had to prove myself to him and he didn't believe in me. And it's just really interesting, this, what word would even describe it? I guess I'll just use the word, lack of better terms, relationship I have with Paul Heyman is very special to me, and it's like no other. And I hope that in 2015, I have more Paul Heyman in my life because I recently, it was August. In August, I shot with him for Heyman Hustle, and it was really cool. And before that, I hadn't seen him in quite some time, but we've always kept in touch. And I just want to throw it out there. I hope that 2015 has more Paul Heyman in my life.
Okay. Now, this may work the way, in this business, we try to make questions go into the next. So let's see if this works. Who would you say is the person you learned the most from in the wrestling business?
Ooh, that is so hard. Huh. You know what? There is no one person. There's none. There's just been different times in my career where different people have been there and they've been placed there from who I believe God placed them there to help align me and get me back on track and on the course that I need to be on. And I guess I'll just list those people.
Absolutely.
We're talking about Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's definitely one of them. let me see here. Al Snow gave me some great advice, and I had some awesome training time with him. Um, who I call the Havana Pitbulls, because back in the DZ brother, that's what they were named. But Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero, they were my first trainers, the people who I give credit to for taking the time to training me one-on-one in the ring and during class. So I've definitely learned a ton from them. Mick Foley, becoming friends with him during my time during WWE, he definitely has given me quite the eyeful of the wrestling business and just kind of his perception, which is really rad. RVD, same thing. You know, it's just crazy. It's like the people I'm listing are people who are currently still in my life. And people always think like once you're in WWE, you're always like forever friends with these people. And to be honest with you, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just being honest, keeping it real. A lot of people kind of just out of sight, out of mind me after my departure from WWE and TNA. So it was cool that not only did I gain some awesome wisdom and understanding about this business from these individuals, but that they continually still are in my life. You know what I mean? Like, and continuously give me that positive energy and wisdom and understanding. And it's interesting because all of them have been in my life for a really long time. And I remember being younger in the business and really feeling like, dang, dude, like I totally want to be able to like be like these guys. Brian Kendrick's another one as well. Like be with these guys, Paul London. They just eased their way in. They just had fun at work. They didn't care about the BS. When people try to rope them in BS, they found their way out real quick because they didn't like drama, because it was all about the art of wrestling and being a performer. And dang it, man, those people I listed are some solid people that, just like I said, on a continual basis, keep teaching me more and more about this business and what's up with this business, and I love it.
Well,
and Francine. Cannot forget Francine. O-M to the G. Francine, and Nova.
Okay. Now, I have to ask, because I just like to find out people who's been in the business's point of view about this, but have you sit down to watch any of the episodes of Total Divas?
You know, when it first came out, I actually did. It wasn't until I moved into my new apartment, which was in August of 2014, that I had cable. Before that, I didn't have cable for like 3 years. So the first time I ever saw Total Divas was on an airplane, and they just had like that E! On Demand. And I only saw those episodes. And now that I do have cable, and they went all digital, I don't get E! Channel, and I'm not going to pay for it. So,
yes,
I saw it at the beginning stages. I thought it was well done, and I thought that it was something different than any kind of product that WWE had before. And I thought, you know what? Hey, they're doing a good job. They're killing it, and obviously they've been sticking around, so they're doing something right. So, you know, I think if you look at it not as wrestling per se, but just as a reality show, and it just so happens that the backdrop, aka the common denominator in this show, is all these girls know each other from working together. If you just look at it in that sense, just like there's the Housewives of Atlanta or any other show, put any name in blank, right? It's about these people's lives and showing and sharing their story. And I think that they did a good job on that. So, you know, I don't care if it's scripted. I don't care if it's fake. I don't care if it's more geared towards their WWE storylines, allegedly.
Yes.
But I don't care. I think it's entertaining. I liked it. And the only reason why I don't continually watch it is because I don't have E! Channel.
So when you were there, if they would have offered you something like this, would you have taken them up on it?
Oh, absolutely. I would have definitely taken them up on it, because I'm all about life experience and being open, and I think that it would have been cool to not only open my personal life, but when doing so, you always learn a thing or two about others and yourself. So I think I definitely would have been down to do it. That's for sure. And the reason why I say that with confidence is not that I have any reality show or anything close to that, but, you know, I do have my YouTube channel, youtube.com/LuchaGal909, by the way. And just really using that as a tool to connect with my fans and venting my feelings and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like, in a way, reality show in the sense of like being raw, open, and honest. And throughout the last few years in doing so, dude, that journey, I really have learned so much about myself and others. So that's why I think doing excuse me, I'm all tongue-tied again. It's the end of the night, man. You got me at the end of the night. Doing a reality show can really be a positive thing if you allow it to. And positive vibes to those girls. I don't know them, but, you know, hey, keep doing your thing, amigas.
Now, we kind of spoke on this a little bit earlier, but are there still things that you want to, like specific things that you want to accomplish in wrestling, or could you just hang up your fangs today and be happy?
No, I have to go to Lucha Underground, remember?
Yes, that's what I was hoping to hear. So I'm just still...
That's it, because it's like, okay, went to WWE, check. Went to TNA, check. So it's like, where do you go from here? And then there was a time in the summer where I was so close I could taste it to going to Japan, and I thought that was going to be a really awesome opportunity. And then at the last minute, it just didn't work through, and I really thought up until that point that was my next little venture, and I really was ready to conquer that. And I'm still down, don't get me wrong, but then Lucha Underground entered my life, and that's when everything got serious.
Well, I can't say it enough. I really hope that this happens for you and for me, because I would really enjoy just you being in there. But so with regards to your wrestling career, do you have a moment or something, a tangible thing that you can say that you're most proud of regarding your career?
Well, obviously, I'm proud that I did go to WWE and I was on the active roster and blah, blah, blah. But to be honest with you, like, I just wasn't where I am now in my life then. You know what I mean? And going back to, I didn't want to become a wrestler to be, like, famous and, you know, like, live this rock star life. To me, it was for something different. And the performer in me, the thespian, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's quite the accomplishment to be able to go on the big stage. But I'm going to be honest with you, when I've had some matches on the indies, in particular my feud with one of my best friends, Mariah Moreno, Miss Natural, recently Ruby Reyes, I've had some amazing matches with these girls, Serena Deeb, that really gave me the confidence that I needed, because I was definitely a different type of worker prior to going to WWE. And I think just kind of going from being on the independent scale to WWE, it was quite intimidating. And in that intimidation, I kind of lost my chutzpah, if you will. Yep. And in losing my chutzpah, the confidence kind of went, and I wasn't the worker that I was, you know, and I feel that taking wrestling, I guess, I hate to say this is going to sound so bad, but as serious as I did before I got that contract, you know, it just reminded me of what I signed up for and why I signed up for it. And in that, I've had these amazing matches. Like this past weekend on Saturday, my big return to Santino Brothers. You know, that's my school. I've been going there for years now. And, you know, before they were even a school, a dojo, I was a part of Santino Brothers as a gimmick way back, right before I got signed. And it was really meaningful to me. So it was really cool that I had this awesome match with Ruby Reyes where we tore it up. We worked hard. I was like, the next day, I was like, oy. Oh, and Brittany Wonder out in Hood Slam, her and I have had some amazing matches. The first time I ever did a dive off of a balcony. Oh my gosh. And Mariah Moreno, her and I have beat each other's ass. Like, let me tell you something. I'm for real. Like, because we are so close in real life, we trust each other with each other's bodies. So we go hard. And we had this little feud, and it was so awesome. And Another one is a girl out of SoCal, Kiko. Her and I, again, had an amazing match. So I'm all about these indie matches I'm having, all about these indie matches because I'm just a way stronger performer now than I ever was, including during WWE times. And it's funny because sometimes I reflect back on those times and it's weird because when I was in WWE, that was actually, aside from when I was like in my childhood, the darkest time of my life. But yet here I was living my childhood dream of being this wrestler. So nowadays it's more like, okay, maybe I don't make that same paycheck. Oops. But, the art of wrestling and why I fell in love with it is exactly what I'm doing. I'm able to skate by, and like I keep mentioning, my sister and I, we moved into this awesome place in August, and we moved into a neighborhood that we were always drawn to, and at, at the end of the street is one of our favorite sushi places we've been going to for a long time, and we always thought, we can never live here. Oh my gosh, we can never live here. It's too expensive. And then we got this place, so it's kind of cool knowing that because I really fell in love with wrestling and remembered why I fell in love with it in the first place. I've had these awesome matches with girls who are in my private life, involved Miss Natural in my private life, these girls, and having these killer matches. And I'm telling you, like, I don't mean to sound sappy, but I do, but who cares? I feel more satisfied now than I did when I was in WWE. And it's not because, oh, WWE is so horrible, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's just like any business. There's good and there's bad, like whatever. But the vibe, maybe I'm just not a corporate kind of gal.
Well,
Maybe I'm just not a corporate kind of gal. I'm more of a, freelancing kind of gal. And that's what I'm doing. And it's just really cool. And it's really inspiring, especially because, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And I'm coming to my, last few years of wrestling. And I love the direction it's going. And I love the way that eventually I will hang up my things and, leave this business because it's just so meant and it's beautiful and it's all about evolving. And, I really just want to focus on being an actress and a business owner. And it's just one of those things where it's so cool that I dedicated so much of my life to wrestling. And yes, it's hurt my feelings and I've had my moments of dysfunctional, relationship, if you will, with wrestling, but it's all good because it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end in a great way, and it's leading me to my next path, and I think it's cool.
Well, we obviously know that you're busy. We want to try to get you out of here very, very quickly, so we're gonna start to wrap this up. But you did speak of new things, so you aren't just a wrestler. You do a lot of other things. Do you have any new projects in the works?
I do. I'm always doing stuff. Okay, I'm probably going to sound like a total jerk in saying this, but it's kind of like with wrestling. Okay, when I go on a set that's not wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
I don't go around walking around saying, guess what, I'm this wrestler. Hey, if it comes out naturally in a conversation, cool. It's just kind of what I do. So, like, yeah, I got a lot of things in the works and I do my thing. So when I'm talking wrestling, this is a wrestling forum here, I'm like, yeah, I do acting. It's cool. And I'm not trying to be like Mrs. Cool Girl over here. It's just like, it's just kind of what I do. And yeah, I do things and I do things often. And the things that are worth really mentioning, I do on Twitter at Funtime Shelly. And I post pictures and blog about things on ShellyMartinez.net. And, it's just, I'm always doing something, something like even, for example, some people probably think, oh my gosh, this girl, get over yourself. Okay, I will. But like Friday, for example, I have a cool little gig Friday for the Discovery Channel where it's one of those reenactment shows and I'm playing a mistress of somebody. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten the details yet. But so I do little things like that. Like I'm just a little working actress trying to make it through life, just like I am with wrestling. And wrestling is definitely guiding me to opportunities to open other doors so that I could, glide on into bigger opportunities in the acting world.
Well,
Not that there's anything wrong with being a reenactment actress, because actually that was one of my bucket list items. Is I love that there's these shows out there that people are constantly working on because they're doing reenactments, and so this will be my second one I'm doing.
well, I love the. I don't know if this is the one you're talking about or not, but they do one on. I think it's Travel Channel, The Mysteries at the Museum. I really like that one, which is really cool. So
Mysteries of the Museum. I haven't seen that
you'll
one.
have to check it out. It's they basically go to a museum and then they like look at an artifact and then they reenact the story behind the artifact. So yeah,
Ooh.
it's pretty cool. So
I bet you now that you mentioned it, I'm gonna start seeing it on casting breakdowns, and I hope I fill it so that you can watch it and be like, "OMG, that day Shelly was on my show and we totally talked about this."
that is exactly what I hope. Now you got me so hopeful for the future, and I'm excited for you. And I don't even I just get to talk to you on here, but I hope everything works out for you. Unfortunately for me, but fortunately for you, we're at the very last part of the show. We do the what we call the lightning round and rapid fire questions. So I'm gonna give you a softball to start with. So
Okay,
favorite horror movie.
Psycho.
Okay. Favorite women's wrestler today. They're gonna get harder.
I'm sorry.
Favorite women's wrestler today.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, is it any kind of wrestler?
Any kind of wrestler you want.
I really love Lufisto. I love Lufisto. I think she's awesome, and I wish somebody would book me against her. Damn it. Um, you know what? Going on the mainstream route, I do like Paige a lot. I like Paige. I think she's cool. I think she's got a good look, and I think she's very talented. And I'm becoming familiar with her mother, which is really cool. She's awesome. Um, so I guess those will be my current two.
That's perfect. You are well known for your animal activism. So, what is your favorite animal?
The Costa Rican sloth.
Oh, that is amazing. I don't even know that I knew that existed till today. So,
Google them. They're cute.
okay. What is the one question you typically get asked every interview?
So can you talk to us about this Jewel Denial video?
So, can you talk to? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, little jerk.
What is one Shelley fact that people may be surprised to learn about you?
A Shelley, because I'm pretty open about everything. So what would people be surprised about me? Huh. Man, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it may all be out there. I don't know. So I just wanted to see. This was your time to tell us.
I know. And I'm trying to think of like some cool guy answer, but like what's a interesting fact about me that people probably don't know? I don't know, man, but I'm down to answer any question. So like whatever.
Did you try to set anybody on fire once, or
No
no?
way. That is awful.
That is. I didn't. I can't
That's
believe you did that.
awful.
That's terrible.
No.
No.
Shame on you. Shame on
Well,
you.
I'll tell you what. We are going to be at the New England Fan Fest. So I will let this simmer for you for until June, and then we're going to be doing a live show that day. So
Okay.
maybe by then you'll have maybe a little tidbit that you can remember. So.
Interesting. I like a challenge.
Okay, good. Now, I want to make sure that you get everything out there. I know that you have a Twitter. I know that you are on Facebook. I know that you have an Instagram, YouTube, Pro Wrestling Tees, and a website. Hit us with it. There's something that I need you to explain to me too, though, real quick. Is the tweet secrets?
What do you want to know about it?
You're on that, aren't you?
I sure am.
Okay,
Big time.
I need someone to explain it to me because I see it pop up and I want to know What is this about?
Okay, well, Tweet Secret is an app for iPhone and Android users, and it's one of those things where it's pretty much, in short, a video fan club. And there's different people like myself, and you have other wrestlers, but you also have people like T-Boss from TLC, shout out. And there's like a Playboy model. There's different celebrities on there, okay? And we're all on there, and we all have our own little pages. And you guys, the fans, the viewers, the fan club, can subscribe, and it costs $2.99 a month. And half of those proceeds, I believe it's half. Oof, I should really know this. I believe half of those proceeds do go to a charity, and it's just a fun way to interact. I can't talk, man.
I'm trying to get
brown freaking cow. See, I could say that though. So dumb. Unique New York. See, control, but yet I'm so dumb. Anyway, it's like an exclusive video fan club. And for me, it's cool because I used to have a membership fee on my website that had exclusive videos. And it just it just didn't work out, man. Okay. Long story short, it just didn't work out. So when Tweet Secret approached me if I wanted to be one of their talent on this app, I was like, you know what, that sounds pretty darn good because I have a lot of fun with it. And right now, it must have been almost a month now. My laptop took a dump on me. Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, it took a dump on me. And if you know me, I am very involved in everything I do as far as social media, and I do shoot and edit my own stuff, and I edit my own photos. Everything I do is a do-it-yourself production. So not having a laptop has been very, very, very challenging. So for me, it's been a thing that works out that I do have Tweet Secret because their app allows me to edit easily these exclusive videos for those people who subscribe to tweetsecret.com/Shelley. Ding! And it's been cool to be able to still get my videos out there and not having to, I guess, put a halt to production because my laptop's out.
Well, I think it's very interesting. I like all the new ways that fans can get kind of up close and personal with everybody. So, is there any other thing that you want us to know where people can find you or something that you want us to see?
Well, if you guys forget all the links, I'm just going to vomit all over you right now. Just go to ShellyMartinez.net, SHELLY Martinez, MARTINEZ.net. Because if it's Shelly with the EY, that's not a real Shelly, just so you know. There's a little tip, huh? There's a little fact.
There's a fact for us right there.
There's a little fact for you. But if you would like to know other links, my YouTube is youtube.com/Lucha, LUCHA, Gal, GAL 909, and you can subscribe on there. I'd really appreciate it. Tweetsecret.com/Shelly, SHELLY, is where you can become a part of my Fun Time Gang fan club, exclusive videos. You want to subscribe, so that's where you want to go. And of course, on Twitter, I am at FunTimeShelly. On Instagram, Funtime Shelly, and my only public Facebook that I do update myself. It's on my phone, so stop trying to add me on my private one. Facebook.com/Shelly Martinez Fun Page. That's where you can reach me because it's like a full-time job, this social media thing, okay? And I'm doing it, people. So please stop requesting me. It says in the note on my profile on my private page, this isn't where you need to go. You need to go over here. Just follow directions. It'd be really nice.
Absolutely. I can't say it enough. You are very well spoken. You're very passionate, like you mentioned, about everything you do. We thank you so much for being on here tonight. I know it's been a long day, I'm sure, for you, and good luck in 2015. Positive vibes for you, and I know personally I can't wait to see you on June 27th at the Rhode Island Convention Center for New England Fan Fest 5.
Awesome. Sounds good, and thanks for having me, and I would love to come back.
All right. Anytime that you need to talk, we're here for you, okay?
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Adios.